Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Nerdpocalypse Podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
And Terrence. Wow.
What's up?
All right, guys. We are back. Plenty of things to talk about, I guess. Let's do checked out real fast here. I watched Gladiator 2. Yeah, look, Micah, I think you're right. I wasn't offended. It's fine. It didn't need to exist. But it doesn't ruin anything. It doesn't ruin the original. It's a perfectly fine sort of tack on sequel to the original. And it's obviously deeply connected to the first one. That's fine. It doesn't have that same fucking visceral feel of the first one. Like it just doesn't.
And it's weird because there are like some pretty brutal, like Denzel Washington has one scene where he's just like, he does something really, really like, oh my God, like, right. Like I had to clutch my pearls. Right.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, it was, but it also felt like really polished, right? Yes. Really like on a set, in a studio, whereas the first movie had like a verisimilitude about it that it's like, oh yeah, what? I'm here. Verisimilitude, a tactile.
Like, what does that mean?
Like it felt like you could. Right.
Yeah, it felt like you were there.
He was hanging out with white people this week. Listen to him.
No, I'm reading books, guys. I don't know what to
oh, you got your masters now?
Just reading ass nigga. Right. Whatever.
So can you kick my ass? Go ahead.
No, man. It was okay. It was okay. Yeah, I wasn't pissed at it, but I didn't feel like I wasted my time either. And I thought I was going to have my time wasted.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I didn't think there was any. I actually thought Denzel was quite good. Like I actually really did like his performance in it. I thought he was great.
Yeah,
he didn't
playing
do like
Denzel.
Yeah, he playing Denzel. Well, he was his character was just a son of a bitch. Like he really was. He played as this sort of villain. I mean, he's definitely a villain, like 100%. But he's just kind of a snake throughout, right? And he's just always kind of playing both sides against each other and that type of shit. He was good. He was good in that part, and that whole like last 20 minutes or last 30 minutes with him as he's sort of making a real run for it is some wild ass event.
When he just starts hamming it up.
Yeah, like, he was just fucking going in. I'm like, okay, nigga, like, oh wow, we just did that. Okay, and okay, all right. You know what? That's cool. Fuck it. Like, let's just go. And you could tell he was having a good time, which is what I always like to see him in roles like that. So yeah, Gladiator 2. It's worth your time if it's on streaming or something like that. Like I'm not mad at it. I watched Kraven. Here's what I'll say about Kraven. This is what I'll say about Kraven.
I'm the one that usually does that type of shit.
I know. I had time actually.
You had to pick up the slack because I haven't watched anything in like 3 weeks.
You're welcome, right?
I'm gonna have 2 movies next week. I'm gonna watch Nosferatu and Emilia Perez. I'll have 2 reviews for next week.
I caught the
I'm
end
holding
of
myself to
Perez. I got the end of Emilia
end?
Perez. Yeah, because my wife was like, "Oh, let's watch."
Okay.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh, let's watch Emilia Perez." I said, "All right," and then I came a bit too late. She was like, "Oh, I started without you."
Okay.
And I was like, "Well, what kind of musical is it?" And she's like, "It's not like a musical, like Wicked is a musical." Yeah,
and they're not singing every line, or are they
right?
Okay.
It from what I saw, it's kind of weird, but it works.
I saw a clip and I was like, the singing is not good.
Yeah, it's not that. And but she liked it, and she, half of it's in Spanish or Portuguese or whatever. So if she liked it, and she don't like reading.
I
can't read and look at pictures at the same time.
Yeah, what about a robot? My eyes don't do this.
Right.
So how was
not Kodak Black?
That nigga's ugly. Anyway, go ahead.
It looks like fucking Black Rango, right? That cartoon. So Kraven is not good. Kraven is not the worst of the Sony Spider-Man fucking cinematic universe. Probably one of the best. I haven't seen Madam Web. And I think and Venom 3 I haven't seen. That's
unacceptable. The fact that you've seen any of them is completely unacceptable.
100% agree. I 100% agree.
I've seen Venom 1, 2, seen Morbius.
I've seen some of Morbius. That was probably one of the ones I've seen. That was definitely the worst. I was like, "This is enough." I turned it off.
Everyone says Morbius is the worst.
Have they not seen?
Everyone says Morbius is the worst because they take it. It's almost like it takes itself way too serious. And Madam Web is just so fucking awful. It's like it's just kind of hard to just really hate it. It's a terrible movie, dude. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. You know, because there's a budget that's involved in this movie. It's not like it's a low budget movie.
No, there's
a lot of money put into that movie.
Yeah, with like some decent sized names. So Kraven's entire premise is, we're just going to ramp up the violence and don't pay any attention to the fucking story and shit, right? It's
like all of the movies.
Right, but it's dumb, right? Like it's a dumb fucking movie. But the violence is like, some of the violence is like pretty good. You're like, I mean, it doesn't look good, but you're like, all right, well, that's like a pretty decent action sequence. But it's a stupid fucking movie, right? He gets attacked by the lion. He gets the lion's blood and he's like, "Oh, I'm about to die," because the lion like literally fucking bites him and then carries him off. Like as a teenager, was like, "Yeet, I'm out."
Like it's a cub.
Yeah, just like fucking bit his ass. And then Calypso, this young girl at the time, gives him this magical fucking gypsy potion or whatever the fuck, like a African root. And she's like, she puts a root on him, and he survives. And then he's got like super cat powers and like super animal powers. And then he just proceeds to like kill people because they get put on his list for whatever reason, for poaching or, what have you. And so he just kills people. And he's like, they don't know who it is. It's like, oh, somebody calls themselves Kraven. Who is this guy killing all these people? He calls himself the Hunter and all this other stuff. And so they don't know who he is. And then eventually they figure out who he is and they come after him and he kicks their ass or whatever. It's dumb. Like it's really stupid. Obviously in the comics, he doesn't have animal powers. That's just not really a thing. There is that one dumb reason what like their connection to Spider-Man is he's given this like neurotoxin by someone at one point and he starts to have a freak out. Like a kind of like a scarecrow type of thing. He starts to freak out, and what he sees is spiders everywhere. And his mom also went crazy and killed herself, and so she also saw spiders. And so like, oh, Spider-Man, get it? Yeah, that was it. And Rhino looked terrible, like really bad. And he had like a reverse Bane sort of situation. He had like a little
Castor Troy's brother.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
As what's his name?
As Rhino.
As Rhino, yeah.
Yeah, he's Rhino. And so they name check the Jackal, which is fun. Not as the Jackal, but like whatever the Jackal's original name is, because he gives Rhino his powers. And then eventually we see Kraven's brother, who also was the crazier brother in Gladiator 2. He was a crazier. The one who had the monkey in Gladiator 2, that prince, or king or emperor or whatever. He plays Chameleon.
The daddy.
Yes, the daddy, if you will. No, that's Russell. Russell Crowe's the daddy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's the original Kravenoff, and so yeah, you get to see at the end of the movie, which I will screenshot and send it to you. You get to see Chameleon. He's like, hey, I went and saw that doctor because I'm tired of like, he was really good at like mimicking people and doing their voices. He's like, I'm really tired of just being some guy on the sidelines and not doing anything. So I'm taking over Dad's empire. And Kraven's like, hey, you can't do that. Like, you're just my little brother. Like, knock it off. And he's like, walks off into a crowd. And then you see him turn around. And he's like, he changes his face so he looks like Kraven. But because he's so much shorter than him, so it's like a mini Kraven, and it's fucking weird. It's weird as fuck. And then he changes his face to like the classic look of Chameleon for a second, and then back to himself. So that's like, comic book fans, see? Aren't you glad you came to see this movie? No, I was not. Yeah, it's dumb. So, 9 out of 10, really. That's what I'm saying.
And they're done, right? They're done with those movies, correct?
That's what they say. So,
well, it depends. Depends on if it's a big hit on streaming. Isn't that what that guy justified those movies? Well, they did poorly in the box office where it matters, but in streaming, people sure did watch it.
Yeah, after they heard how bad it was, and they just wanted to see just how terrible of a movie we made. They couldn't wait to go when they didn't have to pay for it. Yeah, good job. All right, I got to screenshot this Chameleon thing. This shit is fucking unbelievable. All right, Mikey,
while you do that, I watched the first episode of Severance season 2, and it's good to be back. It's good to be back, but in my opinion, it was kind of a rocky like start to get to being back. Mm-hmm. It starts out really, really interesting, where Mark comes to work and there are just new people there.
Yes.
And it is, I won't get, deep into it, but Milchick's back, and Milchick's being, super creepy, and the new people are weird. Eventually the cast will reunite, but it's a little hinky in the storytelling department, because like I won't get too deep into it, but there's a scene where they're given an option to do something.
Okay.
And given the events that play out, it's like, well, they're obviously going with this option over the other option, right? Like, and things ensue. So we're back. I think this episode was there just to kind of get you back in the mood, get you back into the feel of it. And I think episode 2, after reading the description, I think episode 2 is where we kind of will get deeper, like get really back into it. So okay. I'm very much looking forward to episode 2. Episode 1 is fine, but after you see it, maybe we'll talk about it next week, and see if you agree with me. If not, I might be bugging. But look, I'm just happy Severance is back. I unfortunately have to watch it with my wife now, because I told her to watch it and she refused until she didn't. So yeah, now I gotta watch it with her.
Well, I'll be streeting on my wife, because I am not waiting for her dad to watch all of season 1 before I watch episode 1 of season 2. No. I also watched I got to finally finish the second episode of The Pit. Good grief, that show is still very good, but makes you feel some things. Sadness, disgust are two that come to mind. Terrence, didn't you watch a little bit of The Pit? Didn't you check out a little bit of it?
Like the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go, Mike.
I mean, looks all right.
Yo, this little mini Kraven looks adorable.
It's such a weird scene, yo. It's like,
because it's like
it's me, Kraven.
Yo, because it's like it's like the dude's head is just all right, yo.
What a movie,
like,
Species.
Yeah. Yes, that's exactly what
that looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, all Species right. was a wild movie. I saw that movie for the first time on a bus, like coming back from a ski trip, and I'm like, y'all playing this on the public TVs? Like, that movie was like 2 titty shots away from a fucking softcore porn. Like, there's a lot of nudity in that movie.
Natasha Henstridge or something like that?
Yeah, there's a lot of nudity in that movie. I was like, this movie's great.
Why do you think I watched it?
Yeah, I was like,
when it came out, like I was like, what was I, like 15 years old when that movie came out?
Exactly. Like I was on a ski trip with my stepdad. And he was asleep, and I'm like I'm just watching the TV at a coach bus. I'm like, nigga, I'm wide awake. This is awesome. Like, what the fuck? Amazing. All right, Micah, take it away.
Jay titled this article, "Good Actress Decides to Slum It for Cash." The Dexter franchise series picks up in present day and is joined by Uma Thurman for Dexter Resurrection.
Yeah, she's too good for this.
Resurrection. The world of Dexter is continuing to expand. Noted Tarantino foot muse Uma Thurman is set to star with Michael C. Hall in the franchise's next series, Dexter Resurrection. Thurman will play a series regular, the role of Charlie, the head of security for mysterious billionaire Leon Prater. A former special ops officer, Charlie works various high-level private security jobs before taking on her position as the resourceful and meticulous right-hand woman for Prater, per the character description. Dexter Resurrection stars Hall as the titular serial killer. I'm going to keep doing it until you acknowledge my Street Fighter 3 reference.
Okay.
Until you acknowledge my Street Fighter 3 reference, I'm going to keep doing it.
I didn't know who it was from. I knew it was I was thinking of fucking Altered Beast, but that's Rise from Your Grave. It's not Resurrection.
Yeah, that's Gil. That's Gil. When Gil when you do everything that you need to do to take out Gil, and then he's just like, Resurrection, fuck you. Fight me again. Like, fuck you, Gil. Yeah, all right, look.
Why?
It's happening. It's happening. Dexter Resurrection is happening. And I don't
get it. I don't get it.
Is Michael C. Hall like, I haven't seen this dude. Like, what does he look like now?
I don't know.
He looks the same, honestly, from what I've seen. Doesn't he look pretty same? He looks.
So I keep forgetting. So Dexter Resurrection which is not the same as Dexter Original Sin. New Blood was different.
Original Sin.
Original Sin is the one that's new. The young kid. New Blood.
Yeah, Original Sin is the prequel. New Blood is the Dexter's junior grown up, right? Yeah. But what is Dexter Resurrection?
No. New Blood. No, New Blood, wasn't that when they like brought it back? That was New Blood. Resurrection is a continuation of that story.
Dexter
Original
New Blood
is the young one.
I thought Dexter New Blood was his son.
No,
New Blood is him. New
Blood
what the fuck is going on here?
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying. Why would you call it? Why would you name them like that? That's really dumb.
This is like the Xbox Series S, Xbox Series X. Like, this is fucking stupid.
Yes, it is.
So Dexter Original Sin just came out last year. Yeah, this is the young Dexter.
Original Sin is like out now.
So New Blood came out in 2021.
That's
right. What's the
2021 was his son, right?
No. New Blood is the original Dexter. They went back and retold the ending or some shit, right? Like that's when he had like the mountain.
The world. Okay. Dexter New Blood. The world at large believes Dexter Morgan died in a tragic boating accident, and in a way, the world at large isn't wrong. Far from the life he knew, living under a false name in the small town of Iron Lake, New York, he successfully tamped down his dark passenger. I forgot that's what they called it, the dark passenger. dark MAGA. Shut up. For nearly 10 years with a normal job
My
and a
heart goes out
girlfriend
to- oh,
who's the
sorry,
chief
guys.
of police. He seems to have it under control until his son shows up and turns his world upside down.
What?
Rattled,
Okay,
Dexter
so his son
yields
is
to his homicidal urges and soon finds himself on a collision course with a very dangerous local. So his son is grown up, played by Jack Alcott, and he is in New Blood. Original Sin is the prequel, which is young Dexter
All
Morgan,
of it?
right?
Yes.
With Christina Milian as the New York undercover woman, right?
Like Bertha?
And yeah, La Huerta, and Resurrection. What is Resurrection?
Resurrection.
So what is Resurrection?
That's what this is.
That's
is
the
Resurrection
continuation
one, right?
of New Blood. That's
Yo,
a
shut up, yo.
It's
All
a
right,
modern.
all
It's
right. Why don't you just call it New Blood Part 2, like Rambo? Rambo the shit. This is dumb. Yo.
Wait.
This is dumb.
he just explained it to you. This is the Dexter sequel, newly announced Dexter sequel, Dexter Resurrection.
Yeah.
There's a
All
website
right.
called Dexter Daily, which feels really fucking stupid. But then again, this is so confusing. Maybe they need their own website.
Like, is the lore really that interesting that we need 4 Dexter series?
No.
There's 4 Dexter
One of which
series
is going now, and
surrounding-
another one is coming out.
They're all surrounding the same character. What the fuck? Like, at least when Power did it, they did it with Ghost's son and Ghost's best friend and Ghost's enemy. Like they were different. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, this is all fucking Dexter. Like, what are you? Okay.
I swear to God, yo. All right, man. All right. Michael C. Hall is kind of weird, yo. Michael C. Hall is kind of weird right now.
Yeah. I'm so confused. I guess my largest bit of confusion is why is anyone watching these? Like at this point, why?
I mean, they used to be interesting, man. They used to be like I said. They were good soapy, television, and I dug them for a while, but yeah, I've these revivals to me never really work, right? As much of a 24 fan as I was, they tried twice to revive that show, and it didn't work.
No.
And it didn't work because like that was a show of the time, right? Like that show was racist as fuck. Right?
There was that show was about fucking fascism, like brought to you by
just all the like it was of its time, man. You brown, you a terrorist. You're yellow, you're a terrorist, right? Like it was, and the only one that could save him is Jack fucking Bauer. I fucking loved it. And then they tried to kind of like get with the times and shit, and by get with the times, I mean like have a black military guy come and be racist to brown people, and it just didn't work, man.
No, white people got that shit on lock. Get out of here. Oh, we the OGs on that shit. We don't need to bring these niggas in here to do it. Like, just hire another white man.
My mother was a big Jack Bauer fan too, man. She was just, that's my man, Jack. Like, all right.
He's like, get the Muslim. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Mom, stop watching this show. I'm just saying they all look suspicious to me. That's fucked up.
It was the least Marge Simpson my mom has ever been. When she was in her 24 bag.
That is a
that Caucasian man is getting her. She don't call white people. She calls them Caucasians.
That's fucking hilarious.
Because she feels
like so underhanded. Like that's
I don't know why. I think it's because she's like I don't know why, but she would not call a white person. She would refer to them as Caucasian. He's Aaron's, she married to a Caucasian man, but
nobody
say white. Say white. It's literally 3 times faster to say white than it is Caucasian.
Just one syllable. Caucasian. Like,
I have a family member, and like she's a very like politically aware white woman, and like sometimes she'll be talking. She's like, so and so, and they were African American. I'm like, just say black. Like this
say black. I know exactly who you're talking.
Yeah, right. They're like, this is mad uncomfortable to me. Like it feels weird to say that. It feels like,
especially
not that she does, not that she wants to, but it feels like you wanted to say nigger, but you were like, let me find the term. It's like, it's weird. Like, just say black. Like, black's not offensive.
That's fine, Don't say African American or American. I'm like, don't do that, please.
Yes. Right. Because then you get into the situation where situations where you're talking about people like Idris Elba, right? And I've heard white people refer to him as an African American. Like,
he's not.
No, he's not.
He's not. He's not.
That nigga's British. That nigga's British, gov. Bruv.
All right, so there you go. Man. Micah, next up, the Razzies.
Look, the Razzie nominations are out, and Joker 2 leads with 7 nominations. Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga are up for Worst Actors. Madam Web, Megalopolis, and Reagan are all have 6 nominations. I'm just going to run through some of these. Worst Picture, this is a murderer's row. Borderlands. I mean, we already swinging for the fences. Joker 2, Madam Web, Megalopolis, and Reagan. I don't even know what Reagan is.
I don't even know.
I'm assuming it's about the president.
Who was that dude? Kiefer? Not Kiefer. What's the other one? Randy Quaid? Dennis Quaid? Which one is not the crazy one? What's the one that's still active?
Dennis
Quaid. He played Reagan, I think.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
This is as bad as that dude playing FDR. Like, this shit does not work.
Sam Waterston, a.k.a. FDR.
Come on, yo.
Right. That's ridiculous.
Worst actor, Jack Black for Dear Santa, Zachary Levi for Harold and the Purple Crayon. Joaquin Phoenix for Joker 2, Dennis Quaid for Reagan, Jerry Seinfeld for Unfrosted.
That's fine.
Yo, Unfrosted was not funny, though. God damn.
Unfrosted was so awful, yo. I wasn't expecting much, but I did want like a chuckle, and I just didn't.
Yeah.
It was awful. Awful.
I haven't watched Joker or Joker 2. I'm pretty sure Joaquin Phoenix wasn't terrible in it. This is just the movie. It just wasn't what people wanted.
I could see the movie being bad, but it would be very weird.
I doubt he's bad in it. That sounds ridiculous. I could see Zachary Levi being ridiculous in Zach. I don't even know what the fuck Dear Santa is, honestly.
Worst actress, Cate Blanchett for Borderlands, Lady Gaga for Joker 2, Bryce Dallas Howard for Argyle, Dakota Johnson as Madam Web.
Yes.
And my front runner.
Yes.
Nigga.
No.
Absolutely. Nigga, absolutely.
Jennifer Lopez from Atlas.
Nigga, that movie
I ain't seen none of these movies. Jennifer Lopez is the definition of pretty privilege because somebody told her she can act just because they wanted to get in her pants, yo. And I get it. Right? I would love to have sex with Jennifer Lopez too. I just don't want you to talk. You saw Atlas, right?
I did.
I did see Atlas. I saw Atlas. I've seen Atlas and I've seen Madam Web. Between the two, Dakota Johnson takes that. She knocks it out of the park.
So to speak.
God,
Dakota Johnson just didn't give a fuck. I think that's the reason why. She just didn't care, though.
I mean, here's the thing.
Literally
but here's the thing. You knowing she didn't care, or someone trying and failing, which is worse.
Did you see Atlas?
Atlas,
right?
Atlas is pretty bad.
One of you niggas watched Atlas, right?
I did.
Yeah, she wasn't terrible in Atlas.
She wasn't terrible, but that movie is really bad. That movie is not good. It's not.
I didn't hate it.
When she's in the mech, like she's fucking awful. Like she's pretty awful in that. But
the fact that the movie isn't up for Worst Picture probably means that Jennifer Lopez is not winning Worst Actress.
Dakota
it's
Johnson's
probably
up there.
going to go to Dakota Johnson.
Yeah.
Best Supporting Actor, Jack Black from Borderlands, Kevin Hart for Borderlands, Shia LaBeouf in drag, specifically in drag for Megalopolis, Tahir Rahim from Madam Web.
Oh man, he didn't act. That nigga was nothing but VO. That whole fucking
That's not
movie.
his fault.
It was terrible.
And John Voight for Megalopolis, Reagan, Shadowland, and Strangers. I mean, they're really stacking the deck, yo.
They're giving that nigga 3 chances.
I saw. What did I watch? I watched somebody go over the Megalopolis.
I watched some essay about that too on YouTube. Yeah,
and it was like a couple days ago, and that shit looks awful.
Oh,
I know
I know what it was because you sent it to us. It was the visual effects guys.
Yeah. They were like, "What the fuck are we watching?" So, like, some of the visual effects were terrible. Some of them were fine. A lot of it was AI. Yeah. A lot of it was done in Unreal Engine 5, which is like, what the fuck? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Supporting actress Ariana DeBose from Argyle and Kraven the Hunter.
She literally just won an Oscar like a year ago, for Best Supporting Actress, didn't she? For West Side Story?
Yeah, for West Side Story. Yeah.
Damn.
Leslie Ann Down as Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah, she plays Calypso in Kraven. She looks super good, and she wasn't terrible in that movie. Oh,
she wasn't.
She looks amazing in that movie. That's the best part of that whole fucking piece of shit movie. It really is. Anyway, go ahead.
Emma Roberts in Madam Web. All right.
Amy
she was
Schumer
in Madam Web.
She was in
Amy
Schumer for 5 minutes.
Amy Schumer in Unfrosted and FKA Twigs for The Crow. I don't know what.
That's his girlfriend.
Yeah,
that's the woman that plays.
It's Faka Twigs.
That's her name.
It's Faka Twigs. Faka Twigs.
Is it?
Yeah, it's Faka.
Is it?
No, it's FK. Yes.
I don't know.
I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking, but I honestly have no idea what it is. I don't know.
Thank you, Terrence. This motherfucker trying to make me back up Twigs.
Yeah.
Go around
say it fast.
Back up Twigs.
Yeah, say it fast. Get your ass canceled. No, I don't know. I don't know how that's supposed to be pronounced. It could be like
no, it is FKA Twigs.
That's a stupid name, and nobody should say that.
It's like I forgot why her name is that. I read it because I was like, "What kind of name is this?" And I read it on the Wikipedia. I don't remember, and I felt like looking it up.
Oh,
anyway,
Micah, you got to read Screen Combo. This
is the last one. This is the last one I'm gonna read. Screen Combo. Any two obnoxious characters, but especially Jack Black in Borderlands.
What?
Literally any combination of characters.
Yeah, they're like, just pick.
But especially with Jack Black.
Wasn't he the robot?
Yeah, he was
Claptrap.
Yeah. Any two unfunny comedic actors. They literally put it in air quotes. For Unfrosted.
Frosted was so unfunny, though. God damn, I was mad, yeah.
The entire cast of Megalopolis. Wow. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that movie looks insane, yo. I might have to watch the whole movie, though.
It's worth watching. It's worth watching just to see, like, someone just try to attempt to do something that is. I don't know what they're doing, right? But if this was some random ass person doing it, like, I wouldn't have watched it. But because it was Francis Ford Coppola, I'm like, all right, I heard this is bad. I want to see how bad it is. And it's just ridiculous. Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga for Joker 2. Dennis Quaid and Penelope Ann Miller as Ronnie and Nancy in Reagan.
Oh, fuck off.
All right. Look, I can't wait to find out the winners of the Razzies. Also, I want more celebrities to come up and accept Razzies.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you in a shit movie. Like, if Borderlands wins any of these Razzies, I better see somebody from that cast.
Jack Black would go. I feel like he would go. He'd do it.
Yeah, man. Like, y'all play pretend for a living. You can have fun with it. You know you're in a shit movie. You knew every single person that had anything to do with Borderlands knew that shit was going to be a bad movie.
You should have. If you didn't, you should have fucking known. That's crazy. Next up, as I wrote on the docket, some sick bastard wants to adapt Garth Ennis' Crossed. Look, I'm the only person who has read any of the Cross comic books on this show. I can guarantee you. Be happy that that's true. Okay, Crossed was created by Garth Ennis, who also did The Boys. And so I'm sure they're like, oh, The Boys is really popular. Why don't we pick another Garth Ennis series to adapt? Yeah, Crossed is not one of them that you need to do. So the premise of Crossed is basically there's like a zombie apocalypse type of thing. But instead of the classic zombie thing, they retain... A person gets infected, but they retain their abilities and understanding, but they become basically homicidal maniacs. And they do.
I knew I recognized the director that they chose.
Yes, he did The Sadness.
Have you seen The Sadness?
No, I heard horror fans are big.
It's not that far off from what you're saying right now, yo. It's like
what's the premise of The Sadness?
The premise of The Sadness is something happens and these people just become zombies. But they're not stupid. They just become fucking homicidal. They become crazed killers. It's very similar. And it's incredibly violent. Incredibly violent. It's a good movie. I liked it. But it's super gory. It's crazy.
Well, so then Crossed is right up your fucking alley, because it's not just that they're violent, and they are. It's that the things that they do in the book are just depraved. There's a scene in the first graphic novel of a bunch of zombies standing around in a circle, and there's a bunch of normal humans a little ways away from them, and they're like watching them. And zombies are kind of in like a football huddle type of thing. And they're like, oh, what are they doing? What are they doing? Smash cut to the camera being like, here's what they're doing. The zombies had put a bunch of bullets into a bowl, and they were all jerking off and jizzing onto the bullets and then putting them into guns and firing them at the human beings so then they would get infected. That's in the book.
What?
Did they have to jizz on them? Like they couldn't just spit on them? They couldn't just spit on them?
No.
There's an orgy scene in The Sadness also. So this is right up this nigga's alley, dog. There's an orgy scene with a bunch of fucking zombies are fucking each other. There's another scene that's absolutely just horrible. I'm not even going to get into it. Like, you should watch it. You should watch Sadness. It's a good movie. Is
it a fun ride?
Yeah, and to you, it would be a fucking roaring good time.
Good time.
It might be. Fuck you guys.
There's a scene where this dude skull fucks this chick because he takes her eye out. I'm just gonna say it. Yeah, he just fucks her in the face.
Fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a fucking so again, Crossed is this guy's
This is in his fucking wheelhouse.
This is his wheelhouse. That movie's insane.
Is it like low budget?
I mean, it was Taiwanese.
Oh,
so I don't know what the budget was. Doesn't really look low budget the way it's filmed. I mean, I guess you could. I don't know, man. Like look, it's wild.
I'm gonna look it up.
Doesn't look low budget, but it's a hell of a ride. Because I didn't know anything about it when I watched it. I was just like watching horror movies, and someone was like, "Hey, watch The Sadness. This is pretty good." And I watched it. And I'm like, "This is depraved. It's fucked up. This is really fucked up."
A young couple trying to reunite amid a city ravaged by a plague that turns its victims into ranged, bloodthirsty sadists. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, no, that's
that's when you were saying when you were saying Cross. I'm like, this sounds exactly like The Sadness. Yeah.
All right. Good fucking God. The Sadness is the most violent and depraved zombie movie ever made. Wow, that's the fucking tagline. Or excuse me, that's the review on the front cover. Hey, no big deal, guys. This guy's like,
I watched it not knowing what the hell it was. I just saw somebody, I was on YouTube and somebody's like, you should watch Sadness. It's a wild movie. And I watched it and they were 100% correct.
This was in fact
really fucked up.
All right, I'm gonna go get myself nightmares this weekend. Sounds great. Thanks, Terrence. Next up, Jon Bernthal will join Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey alongside many others, but very specifically Tom Holland, Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway, Zendaya, Robert Pattinson, Lupita Nyong'o, and Charlize Theron. The talk is that Tom Holland is the lead in this, and some people have a real problem with that just because of how young he is. Because Odysseus is supposed to be
he's like 30,
right? But
how
apparently
old is Odysseus supposed to be?
He's supposed to be. Well, the journey took almost 20 years, so it doesn't really make sense. But apparently, the more likely thing is that Tom Holland's playing Themicus, who is Odysseus' son, right? So it's not necessarily, even though he's the lead, it's not necessarily all about Odysseus, right? Because a large part of that book is about their relationship and the shit that they go through as father and son. So I don't know if maybe Matt Damon is playing Odysseus, which is kind of interesting. But okay. I mean, Jon Bernthal is a really fucking good actor, so I'll watch it. I mean, I really do want to see. I really do want to see what he does with this. I also want to see Ray Fiennes is playing Odysseus as well in that one movie I think it's called The Return or something like that, which is I guess about the Iliad. But that looks really good too. And I think it's like 65 and fucking jacked and shredded. I'm like, this is really weird for Ray Fiennes. Like, you're not an actor I would see in a role like that, but apparently. So also Devil in the White City is a movie that is being worked on by Martin Scorsese. That's cool. With, of course, Leonardo DiCaprio to star, of course. All right. All right.
So,
you guys, are you?
I think this is. I am interested in this because it's a Christopher Nolan movie,
Sure.
But I'm not because it's a Christopher Nolan movie about a long ass journey.
So this movie's about to be 3 hours and 35 minutes long.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Oppenheimer was 3 hours, solid.
Yeah.
So I would have to imagine that. And look, Christopher Nolan is one of those directors that kind of writes his own ticket. Like, you're not going to edit out things from a Christopher Nolan movie. No. I'm gonna see it because, like, I like that guy's work, but I hope the movie theaters have this thing now to try and get you in. They have novelty popcorn buckets, right? And I'm hoping that the novelty popcorn bucket that comes with this movie comes with a catheter, because it's going to be a really, really long movie, I would imagine. Yeah,
so we'll see. I don't know. And by the way, I'm sorry. The Iliad was before the Odyssey. I apologize. So, yeah, okay, that's fine. I don't know what his take is going to be. It'll be interesting, but he's got a hell of a cast. So, my biggest issue is he's really good at sort of. I mean, his last movie obviously was super character based. Generally, not very good at digging into characters as much. So I guess maybe with Oppenheimer, he's kind of broke that mold.
Well, it was literally about a guy. It was literally about a character. You know what I mean?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, so maybe Oppenheimer kind of broke that for him because the movie prior to that, he could give a fuck about the human beings in those movies at all. And it was just like the cool tech idea of it. And
yeah, this doesn't seem like a concept movie for him. Right.
Right.
Like and given the Odyssey, like you're right. I would think he would focus on character and not just like the logistics of the journey.
He's like, these boats are awesome. Like, and they would be really cool, but like, okay, my nigga, it's been 3 hours. Like, let's get to work. So yeah, I think maybe Oppenheimer kind of broke that for him. I mean, I know people would say, well, look at his earlier movies. Yeah, and then he did a bunch of concept movies for a long time. So people kind of get in a rut, so to speak, but they're all, very well done movies, but he seemed to kind of give no fucks about human characters. Also, best of luck to the women in this movie because he ain't real good at writing women. This is if ever he has a weak spot, that is it. He cannot make female characters matter pretty much at all in his world. Like,
remember how Talia al Ghul died in The Dark Knight Rises?
stab.
Yeah, I was like, yo, what is this? I hate that movie, y'all.
It's not the.
I really hate that.
It's not the best. Not the best. It's certainly not his best work. He could definitely do better.
Yeah, not even close.
No. What the fuck brought to you by JTD from the Edit That Out podcast. We're gonna blaze through these real fast. Micah, take it away.
Okay, a company secretly films its employees in the restroom.
China.
And here's a hint. Posts them on their wall of shame. So, where would a group of people be
Shame.
if they had to whip out their dicks and had to be put on a wall of shame?
Japan.
Take your pick. I don't know. I'm sticking with China. It's probably Japan, but I'm sticking with China.
Terrence, you are correct. It is a Chinese company, and they have come under fire for installing surveillance cameras in the restrooms to see which employees spent too much time in the bathroom and posting offenders on their wall of shame. Many Chinese companies have long been trying to discourage workers from spending too much time in the bathroom by various means, like installing countdown timers on bathroom stalls or limiting bathroom breaks to 1 per day. A Shenzhen-based tech company took things even further by reportedly installing hidden surveillance cameras in its restroom to monitor employees' activities and then shaming those who wasted too much time, thereby posting screenshots for everyone to see. A spokesperson for Lexan Electro-Acoustic Technology Company admitted that employees were surveilled in the company restroom, but claimed that the measure was meant to discourage time wasting during work hours. The Trump administration was reportedly very interested.
Like, I was thinking the same thing.
I
literally was thinking the same fucking thing. Oh man, they want everybody to come back in the office. They're gonna start looking at genitalia to see if you're fucking in the right bathroom.
I mean,
lift up that skirt. This feels weird. All right, turn to it.
Okay. Ew, that's gross.
Daddy's home.
Doctor shares shocking X-ray of person infested with calcified tapeworm eggs.
I just saw that image on the side of my screen from the same website. Yuck.
Disgusting.
I don't know where.
An ER doctor recently shared one of the most insane X-rays he has ever seen, showing a person's lower body. Oh. Tapeworms are parasites that usually anchor themselves to the inside of the intestine of their host, absorbing nutrients directly from the guts. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. This is disgusting. Sam, an ER doctor specializing in cardiovascular emergencies and emergency radiologies, recently shared an X-ray. So this is a disgusting X-ray. I'm trying to find out where this takes place, though.
I would guess. No, not at all. No. I would guess India.
I don't know. They don't actually have the fucking country.
Why'd you say that? Huh? Whatever. You live in a fascist regime. Get out of here.
No, maybe Mexico. Maybe this is a form of Montezuma's revenge. Isn't that something?
I don't think that's really a thing anymore. But when you come down, you
I mean, it might be here. It might be here soon.
You got that fucking moron running the HHS. I think you should drink raw milk. It's great for you. No, I'm pissing out of my own ass every morning. Fuck off. Have you tried my roadkill sandwich? Get out of here, Robert.
I have no idea where they don't say where this takes place. This is just this fucking picture is absolutely disgusting.
It looks like somebody's got like on Bob's Burgers how they draw hair on someone's legs. right? Like it's just like
Yeah.
just lines everywhere. It's fucking disgusting.
Ew.
My story: zookeeper walks into a lion enclosure to impress fiance, gets mauled.
China.
The zookeeper tragically lost his life. It wasn't that tragic. After going to a lion enclosure at a private zoo to film himself petting the large felines, only to get mauled by them. This nigga thought he could pet them. They're not your. They're like rich people. They're not your friends. What the fuck are you doing? The 44-year-old idiot was working the night shift at this private zoo when he decided to impress his fiancée by filming himself going in to pet 3 full-grown African lions. A short clip retrieved from the man's phone shows him unlocking the lion's cage and casually walking in while talking to the lions and addressing them by name. At one point, the felines, which had been lounging on wooden pallets, become alert, approach the zookeeper, who continues to film, seemingly unaware of the danger he's in. The video cuts off with him screaming as one of the lions attacks him. Cool.
So he filmed. So he like recorded his own death.
Smooth.
Okay.
Oh,
Good
my
job.
nigga, they got the video. Fuck off. I'm not clicking on that. Come on.
So I said China. I'm
Micah?
China, India.
This sounds like a Florida man story.
It certainly does. I have to admit. But this is Florida by way of Uzbekistan.
Oh, hey, there's a country we don't get much of on this show.
So
Uzbekistan.
Dr. Reform.
This is dumb.
Himself.
This is that's Darwinism at its best.
All this to try to get
Impress a woman.
Try to get your dick wet later that night. What are you doing?
Yeah, just go masturbate, guys.
Blood.
Just go masturbate. Like, I know it's difficult, right? It must be very difficult to like.
It's not difficult.
Get a date and impress women and stuff. Like, I get it, but like, you don't have to try and pet a big cat to do it.
Also, this lion that they show in this image looks wild because it's got like darker hair, which makes it kind of look human. Like it looks like it's on the cover of like some sort of R&B album or some shit. It's really weird. That's so weird. I've never seen a lion with fucking like with dark hair. It's very strange. Yeah, it's
almost like a reverse highlights.
Yeah, what's going on? That's how they do it over in Uzbekistan. All right, trailers this week. Yeah, it's a weird image, right? Like,
it's just
like, why is Michael McDonald the lion sitting up there chilling? Nice, this is strange. Oh, it's fun. Trailers this week. The only thing that matters: Daredevil: Born Again. The trailer officially out. Finally. Hey, remember how people used to say Disney's not gonna make a Daredevil show? It's gonna be as violent as Netflix. Hold my cane, because Jesus Christ. And this is not even a Red Band trailer, by the way, but it looks very good. A couple of things to note here. One, the violence. 2, so Kingpin is the mayor of New York, according to this series, which is dope. That goes along with a theory that many people kind of had put out there. So that bodes well for like Spider-Man 4 and shit like that, if that's even remotely grounded, of having these guys interact a little bit, potentially. Also, I love how small that table is that the two of them are sitting at, because Vincent D'Onofrio takes up like 75% of it. I'm like, you could just palm his face like across the table if you wanted to.
And he's lost weight too. He's still fucking just huge.
Yeah,
He's just a big dude. He's got a big ass frame.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm here for it. It looks good, and that dude always has an intensity about him that is really dope. But yeah,
look,
good.
this looks good, man. I'm really. It looks like nice and gritty, but it doesn't. Like the Netflix show was like super dark and super violent. I don't think it's going to be as violent. Maybe I'm wrong, because like one of the
How's it
villains
in this
here
trailer,
is-
man? He just broke this
one of the
nigga's arm
villains, like one of
and
the
his
villains
leg.
is
Jesus.
called Muse,
Yeah, he's a fucking.
and yeah, Muse is Muse. Like Terrence Muse kills people because like he's an artist and he like brutally mutilates people to try and create like art, like it's art out of him. Like the shit is. Yeah,
it's some fucking Hannibal Lecter,
Yeah, I
the
was about
fucking
to say,
Hannibal
like,
show shit.
From season 1.
yeah.
Quite literally.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this. I'm glad they had to do whatever they had to do to retool it or whatever. It looks good to me.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
I'm definitely in for this. All right. Any final words before we get out of here?
Nope, I'm tired.
All right. We will see you guys next week. I know it's a bit of a short episode, but we will see you guys next week for another episode. Later.
See you.